What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Legion on Zoom. I am the highly caffeinated Ches.
All right, I am not caffeinated enough at all, or if anything, actually, my Ritalin is wearing off. As people out there, I have ADHD. I take Ritalin, and this is Miguel. But now I'm with my beer. Oh, I'm chilling.
Ritalin, you refuse to share with your Legionnaire members, and I'm Rob. What's going on, people? I like how we still have some natural daylight going on over at Miguel's.
Word is like word. It doesn't look natural because it's so nice. It looks like you have like an intern behind the camera with the foil
word.
thing.
Like some professional lighting.
Word.
Well, I'm like the light that's hitting me right now is like not. It's a lamp. It's like I move things around. So for you listening to us on Spotify, you can check us out on YouTube right now. Hit subscribe to that YouTube button, and you'll see Ches in green and me in this like. Because there's beautiful light behind me. You can see the green space outdoor, beautiful, the Bronx right there, and then a light flashing in my face. We're fucking around with lighting on.
And I'm on location. I've decided to leave Earth, and I am on Oa. I'll tell you guys when I come back. Other than that, let's get into some shit. We're starting this show with a fucking deep cut. Well, it's actually some breaking news. It's pretty new, but it's based on a deep cut. So it's kind of like a scar. There's going to be a Smallville animated show in the works, which is fucking mind-blowing. I thought they were going to just like never get back to that. I've even heard rumors of like that back in the day that Tom Welling was like done with Smallville, like done. And supposedly he's behind the project as well. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, no. And I'm like, oh, damn, is he done? Because like we saw him come back for that epic Arrowverse crossover. The Crisis on Infinite Earth. So we saw him back. But yeah, so because it's Tom Welling himself who announced it, that apparently it's him and Michael Rosenbaum, who I think was the Luthor, right?
Yeah, like, oh shit, really? Yeah. Lex Luthor?
Yeah, that they're developing the animated Smallville sequel. So that'll be fucking dope.
What? Wait, so it's a continuation to the show?
Apparently.
That's cool. Crazy. And also a even deeper cut for those of you who don't know. Michael Rosenbaum also has done the voice of the Flash on some instances. I don't know when.
Nice. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
In Flash fashion.
Yeah, but I mean, you could take the alley-oop and say where he's done it because there's been so many different iterations of the Justice League that I don't know where. So
right. No, but also there's a comic book that continued the Smallville lore. I don't know if they're going to use any of that stuff because it was canon, like for people that I guess couldn't let go and the series was over. DC produced a comic book, much like they're doing with a lot of things right now, like with Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, facts.
Batman 1989, which I'm stoked about because I saw some art recently and it had like Billy D. Williams,
nice.
Harvey Dent, right? So we get to see him transform, you know.
Right, and the cover art, which we'll have it right up here right now, right? It's like we see, I think it's him as Harvey Dent, but also kind of like getting into Two-Face, right, or something like that. Was it?
Yeah,
it would look fucking dope. We're looking forward to that.
Who draws that? Because for some reason in my head, a Batman 89 book should be done by Alex Ross.
Oof,
I'll check it out. Let me see.
And I'm gonna say a fucking highbrow ass comment right now. My brow's about to touch the back of my neck. Jeez. I think Alex Ross is like the what's his name? Something Rockwell of comics.
You lost the highbrow.
Damn it!
It kind of went from the back.
Fuck.
Kind of lower. Yeah, but it is something Rockwell, like one of those
Norman Rockwell. Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, fine. I went medium brow. Fair enough. But yeah, for some reason, like I see the aesthetic of that movie done by the hands of Alex Ross, who is almost too epic, in my opinion, to be considered a comic artist. It's always kind of bugged me, like, yo, you went too far. Like, you don't do comic art, you do comic portraits. Like, stop it.
All right, so just to mention, the creative team is Rob Vendetti and Wilfrido Torres.
Nice.
Who did Batman 66 as well.
Wait, there's also a sequel of that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I could do without that.
Bro, Batman fans can't get enough. Like, continue everything. Every Batman timeline should just keep going on forever because apparently people are going to keep buying it. And we did see some photos, too, of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne this week too.
Actually, that's perfect, right? That brings us to one of our next news points, right? That we saw fucking, and it's awesome because it's just Michael Keaton himself, like in a suit, walking in front of a courthouse or something. And that's enough for me to lose my shit, man. Because it's like, it's not just Michael Keaton. We know he is Bruce Wayne right there, right now, talking to fucking Barry Allen. And they also show us Nora West as well there. And the big thing too was that we got shots of Supergirl in her suit and some funny shots of her getting like pulled up in a way. So it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Dude, like, imagine how he must feel. I don't think, maybe I want to say 10 years ago, in his wildest of dreams, like, you could have offered him $100 million and he never would have even guessed with 100 guesses that he'd be playing Bruce Wayne or Batman ever again in modern times.
Thought, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's, and like, imagine it from his perspective. That's crazy.
Imagine in 1989, let's say we could travel back in time right when they're filming the film, or probably 88, right? Because that's probably when their filming came out in 89. And we would go up to Michael Keaton and be, bro, in 2021, you are still going to be the character you're portraying right fucking now, man. He'd be like, get the fuck out of my face.
And you survived the global pandemic. He's gonna be like, what? And you'd be even confused and you disappear. Blow his mind.
You just tell him like you survive a pandemic and you're still Batman, and then you leave. He'll carry that forever.
Nah, but then he would respond. He's like, that's why he survived the pandemic, because he's like, because I'm Batman. And then I'm fucking blown away. And then that's it.
Dude, I cannot wait. I am so hoping that fucking these people at WB and DC do all the right things. Just be like Marvel, do the right things. And I don't mean to like make things happy or bright. Just on principle, be like Marvel and do the right thing. Do with that what you will, you jerks. but
I mean, okay, in their defense, they released the Snyder cut. So they're right now in our favor, right?
Yeah,
and I have faith that they're gonna continue releasing. I mean, good shit. Like I'm hopeful too. I think this is a tough film to mess up. I think that it's gonna have a lot of elements from the Snyderverse, as you can tell by Supergirl's outfit.
Yeah, word.
So like,
which is amazing. That suit looks so sick.
If the director can just kind of like stay true to that vision of the Snyder cut, even just enough to give new fans and old fans a good movie, because I mean, come on, man, you're getting Ben Affleck in this, you're getting Michael Keaton in this. This is insane.
Yeah, word. It's bananas. Like it's the one movie, like might be top 3 movies we never thought we'd get. We're getting a live action Flashpoint movie. I'm gonna say that again. We're getting a live action Flashpoint movie. That's fucking bananas.
And not wait.
Yeah, word. And also, I gotta say it again. That Supergirl suit is fire. It's fucking lit. It is one of the best suits I think I've seen superhero wise. It's on point.
God damn, that's high praise.
It's valid. It's valid.
Speaking of suits, though, right? We got, finally, we got images of the Shazam family all wearing their new fucking costumes, their new suits. What did you guys think? Obviously, we're not comparing it to Supergirls yet. We're pretty impressed with it, but like the new Shazam one, because we've all talked about this before in prior episodes. We had thoughts on the original suit. You guys mostly, I think.
Yeah, word. Like it was cute. Yeah, it was cute. Like it was a valid attempt. Like, oh shit, look, it's a Captain Marvel suit in real life. But then it's like giving credit to Rod, is kind of like they're kind of like embracing the Snyder vision of a Captain Marvel theme. You know what I mean? Like it's a bit leaner, it's a bit darker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more like, I don't know, it's more high tech. It's more of a Snyder take on like the aesthetic of Marvel, at least from my side.
And just to respond to Miguel, like the Shazam costume was top 3 worst superhero costumes. I want to say it's, you got, what do you got up there? Steel. No offense to Shaquille O'Neal, you're a legend.
Damn, you're putting Steel up there?
Where? We gotta do contemporary. Steel's like some from forgotten time. No,
yeah, also that's
true.
That's
1989. That suit still holds up. I don't care if you can't move his name.
Good point.
Okay, Lila. Okay, then you know what? Then I'll say that suit, if you think about it, that suit is kind of whack.
Which was 89?
Yeah.
How dare you?
All right, the show's over. Schism just now. We're done.
You see, like if you want to get into the nitty gritty, then like Steel Suit wasn't the worst because Miguel has a point.
Oh, no, it wasn't
more
the
of a question.
worst.
It's more of a
Shazam
question
was
of like
worse.
era. What about Blank Man?
But that's meant to be campy. He's not even Meteor Man. There you go.
Facts. Throwback, deep cut. No, by the way, I wanted to mention, doing another favor here. The Snyder Cut is going to the next level and is going to Blu-ray,
yes,
and DVD.
Oh,
which
copying.
Yeah, which we didn't even.
Lord.
Oh shit, you didn't know that?
No.
Yo,
it's broke news to drop.
That's crazy. That should have been my Friday night. I have really low standards, but yeah, like it's going on fucking 4K Ultra HD DVD, LCD, LED. I don't know what else, but yeah, like all that shit. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. Yeah, OD. But yeah, like it's actually happening, which means that Snyder's gonna get his due and then some. I think he might be getting money off on that part. I think.
Like, on what part? On the suit, like that they're using.
No.
On the Blu-ray, you mean? All right.
Yeah. The fact that the Snyder Cut is getting released, I think on that he'll probably be making some money. Yeah, word. And on some totally unrelated fucking news, on a deep cut again, it's apparently a very deep cutty episode. The next installment of fucking Transformers is gonna be Beast Wars.
Yes.
Did they say officially it was Beast Wars? I think
no, it is. The movie is called Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and it's going to have the classics that we watched as when we were kids. But obviously it's going to be set like not in the same, because in Beast Wars, the animated fucking show from back in the day, it was set in like prehistoric times, no? And so this is going to be, it's a sequel to the Bumblebee movie, which is movie 18 out of the franchise. I don't remember.
It's some shit like that. I've yet to see it. I've heard absolutely nothing but good things about it though. And I mean, plus fucking John Cena's in it. But I really gotta check that shit out, especially if you know, like the fucking Beast Wars movie is gonna be a sequel for this.
Yeah, bro. And I thought you love the Transformers movies. You for anything we ask, like for you to make a movie, you always say Michael Bay will be directing it.
Because I do love the Transformers movies. For some reason, I just never caught the Bumblebee one because I don't think that's like it's a big Transformers movie. I think it's a Bumblebee movie.
Right.
That's why like I was never beasting to see it, but it's on my list of things to watch.
Plus, I don't pun. Yo, but after the first one, I was done with it. Like I watched the first Transformers movie. Yeah, visually it was fantastic, but I didn't feel invested in the characters at all. I mean, they brought the OG Optimus Prime voice guy. That was amazing, but otherwise,
nah, same here. I never really got into the Transformers movies. Like I tried. I think I watched maybe 2. But to me, I don't even aesthetically, the robots looked like the Transformers looked too not Transformery. I don't know. I really wasn't a big fan of it, but I did see Bumblebee and I loved it. I thought it was a great film. It was really entertaining and it really scratched that, late 80s, early 90s itch when we were watching the cartoons. And because Bumblebee looks kind of like Bumblebee fucking from the cartoon. So I don't know. So I was excited about it and it's fun.
Oh, yeah. Facts. Like it does look fun, and that is why it's on my list. And I'm not against it. I will eventually watch it. But I've actually seen all of the actual like straight canon Bay Transformers movies. And you're right, like it's almost too chaotic to get vested in any of the characters. But if you get vested in 2 or 3 of the Transformers, it's like themselves. If you closely and slowly follow the storyline of Optimus and what's his name? Megatron, it's a pretty interesting saga. It plays on a big scale. It's a massive endeavor. But aside from them two and maybe like Bumblebee himself, like it's too chaotic. It's too big of an attempt. But visually, I love them though. Fuck yeah.
And another reason to get you all into it, to watch Bumblebee so then you can watch the new movie, is that apparently they have cast for the new sequel Anthony Ramos, who is the lead in the Heights movie, which we got into it a little bit last time in our last episode.
That movie was great. Go see it if you haven't already.
Yo, dude, when you put that at first in our chat, I thought it was the me being Dominican. I thought it was the bachata artist, but that's Anthony Santos. I'm like, oh shit! Like
He's a lot older too, isn't he? Like, damn.
Yeah, like he's in Transformers as the lead.
Damn.
Which would also
Like,
be awesome.
facts. It'd definitely be interesting. It'd be a massive come up. But yo, so that dude, so the In the Heights guy went from being John Lawrence on Hamilton, being Usnavi in the movie, to now being the role on Transformers. I love to call this out. We see you, guy with barely any name. Your bank account is exploding. I like to call it out. That shit, you're making so much money right now that you're getting confused about reality.
Damn.
That's the same thing. Like, dude, think about it. Think about how much money he literally just got the lead in a fucking Transformers movie coming up In the Heights. His bank account, like his wallet just got heavy out of nowhere type shit.
For sure.
But he's a good actor. I can't wait. Like, I like the guy. He's cool. I mean, he's a Puerto Rican playing a Dominican. I kind of resent that, but you know.
But we'll let it slide because he was pretty fucking good, and he's gonna be in Transformers,
Well,
right?
what was he in Hamilton though? Like Caucasian or some shit?
John
or white Anglo-Saxon.
No,
Obviously they're all like obviously they're fake. People,
I
right?
think John Lawrence was white, but he did want to assemble like the first old black battalion or some shit like that. But so I'm not sure.
I mean, probably. That's what I'm saying. Like, he could play whatever he wants. He's that amazing.
Yeah, you know, he dude, he can sing, which is the bugged out part. Like in the musical, like on Hamilton, that dude has pipes. I'm like, it's props to him, man.
And so
give him
that's
all the money.
And that's the real question, though, right? For this Transformers sequel, is he going to sing or not? Because I think, lean on his strengths, people. Like, throw in a few like musical numbers. I'd be fine with it.
And bring in Anthony Santos for it, right? Make it legendary.
We just fucking turn Transformers Beast Wars into a Hispanic musical. Listen, man, I'm totally with it. Fucking. So I just heard about some crazy shit that happened in comics, and I'm not much of a Marvel guy, let alone a Spider-Verse guy. And Spider-Man's own universe within, like the Marvel proper gets pretty deep and it gets pretty confusing. So they apparently brought Ben Reilly back in the comics. What?
Yeah, and that's been a big news in the comic book, really what we've been talking about, news and TV and animated shows. But now for comic book news, this is the big one that's going to happen. I think it's going to be in September that they announced that Ben Reilly, you might remember we talked about Ben Reilly a few times before, Chris Pine would be a good Ben Reilly. We said that he's the clone from the Clone Saga who, like, back in the 90s, big ordeal, he was supposed to be, he's the real Spider-Man, Peter Parker's a clone. But then, no, it wasn't. And then Ben Reilly died and Peter Parker stayed as Spider-Man. But then eventually Ben Reilly came back, though. He did come back. He was actually the Jackal for a really awesome story of the clone conspiracy. And then he was the Scarlet Spider for a while on his own, a solo series. But apparently now they've been saying that now he's actually going to take the mantle of Spider-Man proper. Not Spider-Man, like Miles Morales is Spider-Man too, right? But it's like, obviously he looks different. He's younger. It's like, it's not a big deal. He's in Brooklyn too. But now he's going to be the Spider-Man again, because Nick Spencer, who's been writing Spider-Man for the last couple of years, is ending his run. And it's apparently going to end with that. And as you all know, I'm the resident Spidey fan. I am not with this one bit. I'm not looking.
Come on, you gotta shake up the status quo, man.
No. Wait, I have
the fans guessing.
Yeah, word. I have a question. So for the fans out there who are as clueless as I am, obvious first thing: where the fuck is Peter Parker?
So that's the main reason why I'm not happy, because like Ben Reilly, I'm cool with Ben Reilly. I like Ben Reilly, especially when he's been involved in the Spider-Verse stories and the clone conspiracy story. It's cool stuff. But apparently with the promotional-ish images of Ben Reilly back as Spider-Man, there's a few images of Peter Parker bloodied, his mask fucked up, and with MJ kissing him. So I'm like, if this motherfucker kills Peter Parker, I am going to riot. Nick Spencer, he's an okay writer, but he wrote Captain America. He did the famous Hell Hydra Captain America Secret Empire story, which It was stupid. I didn't like it, and I've been trying to get into his Spider-Man run, and I cannot fucking read it. And I'm like, and I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I don't like it. I'm just not liking it. And if it ends with him killing him, nah, I'm not gonna be okay with this.
Listen, man, I'm gonna go with the obvious shit real quick again. Nick Spencer do our show. I want to hear you talk to Miguel.
Yeah, I want to hear you defend your storyline.
And apparently, Spencer seems like the kind of guy who's like, "Fuck what people think. This is what I'm gonna do."
For real.
Word.
Yeah,
For controversy,
yeah.
spike sales. I see you, Nick Spencer.
Yeah, facts. So he seems like the type of person that he's on that social media profit shit. The engagement doesn't matter if it's bad or good as long as it's there.
The one thing I will give Nick Spencer credit is that apparently he's been trying to kind of, so there was this big storyline a few years back called Brand New Day, which was, people hated it, right? Because it happened that basically the love story between Mary Jane and Peter Parker, they were married for years, was dissolved because of Mephisto. Like,
I loved that story.
Like WandaVision. But people hated that it ended that long story, and now it was back to, it was like a reboot in a way, but without rebooting the rest of the universe. And that people forgot that they were ever together because Mephisto took their love. Well, it was a cool story. I like the story because they did it to save Aunt May's life. I guess it was related during the Civil War, the first Civil War by Mark Miller event, which was dope. Because Peter Parker revealed his identity and shit, and it was a hot mess. And so they had to kind of put the genie back in the bottle. So they did all that. And so Nick Spencer's apparently trying to bring Mary Jane and Peter Parker back for them to remember what they lost. And I'm for that. Like, that's dope. Unless it means that they killed my boy Peter. I don't want that.
Yo, dude, while you were ranting, I was doing some pondering, and I keep coming back and I keep coming back to that thing that we just discussed. Is like, all right, so the MCU is huge, right? Like, you know, making tons of fucking money. But we've also discussed here that paper books, and I think Rod brought up that point that the paper book industry is still suffering OD. You know what I mean? Like, people are just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some leak into people going to read more comic books because of all the saturation of, you know, like TV and movies we're getting. But that type of shit, once again, it screams like, we're going to do it just to stir the pot. It doesn't matter if the recipe's bad or good. We're just going to stir it.
Yeah, I guess I'm for that, as long as people are out there buying comic books, right? And so the other cool thing about this is that they're gonna take a page from the Brand New Day. Originally, when it originally happened, I think it was at the end of, I could be wrong. Was it Michael Straczynski's run, or I don't remember who it was? And then they got basically a bunch of different writers. There was no one main writer in Spider-Man around that same time. They were all just kind of writing the same story and helping each other out. And so that's what's going to happen next. And after Nick Spencer, we're going to have Seb Wells, who's been writing an awesome fucking Hellions, which I love. Kelly Thompson, who's also written, I think, Captain Marvel, who that's been praised very highly. Saladin Ahmed, who's been writing the Miles Morales book, which I loved. Cody Sigler, who I don't know, and Patrick Gleason, who we loved from. He's written and illustrated the Batman and Robin books and a Superman book as well. And he's been doing Spider-Man now with Nick Spencer, and all right, so like the art's dope. It's like, okay, so we'll see.
When it comes to doing stuff like that too, I've wondered, like, so he does that, right? Of course, I think we learned this from Dan Mora with the approval of the studio and shit like that. You know what I mean? As we learned from our Dan Mora app, like, you can't just go off and just kill Peter Parker and just plug in Ben Reilly and just, like, they don't have that much freedom. So that was obviously approved. But then it's like, all right, he does this, ends off on a big note. Then what? The person that comes in just has to deal with Ben Reilly and the dead Peter Parker?
I don't know.
Wait, so you think that Ben Reilly's gonna kill Peter Parker?
No. That, like, all right, so he killed Peter, right? Like, the writer killed off Peter Parker.
Oh.
Like, as per the image that McGill painted with words. And then you have Ben Reilly as Spider-Man now. So the writer that's coming in is signing up to just write Ben Reilly as Spider-Man. You get what I mean? It's like, it's not a bit considerate for the person that's
until
coming
he later
in.
reverts to Peter Parker, right? Because like when Doc Ock killed Peter, right? And then he took over his body, and we had the Superior Spider-Man run, which really worked. But you know, I mean, they have their ways of doing these like soft resets just to mix it up. I mean, I haven't read since Dan Slott, so you know a lot more about the current storylines, but I haven't
Yeah.
really been interested in any recent Spider-Man story.
And you're not missing out, bro. Dan Slott was the last best one. I love Dan Slott. And as you said, except but the difference with that, because Dan Slott, like, quote unquote, killed Spider-Man, right? Because we had Doc Ock take over his body. But that was himself. That was his long story. And then after like a year or so, then obviously Peter Parker came back, right? But it was part of the story that he was telling. Nick Spencer's gonna be all like, all right, peace out. It's on you guys. You guys clean up this mess. I'm sure the editors do shit, right? Like they're involved in making sure that letting the new group know what's going to happen and if they want to sign up for it. I don't know.
For the record, soft resets make my penis soft.